Chakalis!
Peter Chakalis of Ariana and Evans sent us out one of his favorite scents of all time to review, and it's today!
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hello, it's so good to see you. Thank you for spending this time in our little barbershop. And if you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, why? There's a cool group of folks from all over the world hanging out in the live chat, and they'd love to meet you and know where you're from and what you're shaving with today.
And for our mention today, Marcus was showing me the differences between some of the Badger brushes, and we realized we should kind of share that with you.
Yeah, y'all. And this one has rocketed to the top of my favorites brush list. This was also a gift from Peter Chakalis and Ariana and Evans. And this is their retro shaving brush, y'all. And it is the Badger Knot. So hold on a second. Let me walk you through a little bit of what I've discovered about the Badger Knot. So this is my Manchurian T1 knot from Paul Trotter at Trotter Handicrafts.
First one we tried.
Right. These are gel tipped, y'all. So these are specially treated at the edges to be crispy when it's dry and really beautiful and absorbent and spongy when they're wet. And this one is really gel tipped and creates like a surface against my face. And it will splay, but you got to push down a little harder. This one sits right in the middle. A beautiful treatment of the gel tips, but not as much as that, so there's a little bit more splay to it, a little bit softer. And then this from Craig at Opus Brush is his Manchurian knot, and it does not have the gel tip treatment. So it goes into sort of an instant splay, and it feels really soft here when it's dry. So that's the difference. This is totally soft. This is a little bit crispy when it's dry. This is super crispy when it's dry, and the effects follow thusly in your shave. So depending on how your soap behaves and depending on the kind of lather you want, these are generally your options when it comes to the Badger Knot. I think I'm still a little bit newbie. Be gentle with me. But yeah, and y'all, this one is jumping out because it is sort of the best of all worlds in the Badger Knots as a perfect brush for me and a perfect suggestion for the newbie if you wanted to enter the world of Badger Knots. Now, when you do get this, it's going to look a little bit smaller.
Yes.
It looks more like a synthetic knot when you get it. But once you start breaking it in, and there are some great videos on how to do that, that's when it becomes kind of bigger and kind of gives you that lovely natural shape of the Badger Knots.
So you'll get to see that working as we do our lather a little bit later today.
And I kind of want to get you one of these.
We'll see. Maybe we need a his and a hers version.
And what's our soap today?
Our soap today is one that's been through different bases, and it now is in the Ultima base and the glass jar. So it's had a little bit of an upgrade for chasing the dragon.
And we happen to have heard through some of the ripples in the community that this might be one of the absolute favorite scents of Mr. Chakalis himself. So y'all grab your torches. We're going to go hunting dragons. All right, y'all. So from the sales page at shavingshopclub.com.
Chasing the Dragon is our flanker to the immensely popular Khalifa. However, Chasing the Dragon is a bit more refined and less aggressive compared to Khalifa. I think we did a superb job in creating this scent while maintaining a mysterious, veiled fragrance that can be worn day or night.
Khalifa is a very dark, decadent, and unapologetic punch in the face.
Okay.
Dragon shares some of the notes, but in a more sophisticated way, with edges rounded and some added notes of star anise and other mysterious notes that are sweet, almost like burnt maple syrup with a hint of florals and bourbon thrown in. It's amazingly complex and beautiful.
Okay, well,
we would expect nothing less from Ariana and Evans. I'm excited. We just shot Plum and Bliss. It was nice because some of the commenters were like, yep, this is exactly what I thought it would be. I think Tall Texan picked it up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Y'all, fantastic. So, y'all, if it's one of his favorites, I'm so excited to let this dragon out of the box. It came in a big box, and then the envelope was on the inside, so don't worry. It came well protected. This was the inside box. Oh, what are they not seeing?
They're not going to see this one,
Right, they didn't. I think this is Timbuktu.
No, that one's it. That's it.
Oh, this is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so look at this. It comes in this beautiful little bloomin' onion protector here.
Don't drop the splash. It's heavy.
Oh, y'all.
Look
what
at classy.
Beautiful, luxurious presentation this is.
The new glass jar.
Look at that. Y'all, look at this splash. That's the same bottle as the Never Alone splash.
Don't drop this on your toes. Oh, but look, it has a green like glass to it. That is classy.
We need to get a bigger display shelf for our splashes. Look at this. That's gorgeous.
Is this? Oh, no, that one's clear glass.
This is
okay.
clear.
Oh, man, that looks pretty classy,
All right,
I gotta say.
strap in and saddle up because we're going to figure out how to train our dragon. All right.
I have no idea what to expect.
We are not Rochambeauing for
And
this.
I didn't
wanna
really
go
even
first.
look at the scent notes. I literally just read what you have. But from the fact that this is a scent that they've taken with them through different bases and it's grown with the company, it clearly has left a mark. So we have not smelled the Khalifa one. So we can't compare those.
I have not yet
This is
been
our
punched
first
in the
one.
face, but we do know the boys in the back loved this one, so we're excited to get our nose.
Yeah,
All right, here we go.
That presentation is pretty classy, though. That glass label and glass... I'm just saying. Oh, that's a good whiff, y'all.
Beautiful, herby, spicy, smoky. Y'all,
How many more adjectives do you know?
the farthest thing from a cologne, and yet eminently beautiful and wearable as a masculine, mysterious scent.
Oh.
I love, well, this is why I love the shaving world, y'all, because we were talking to Will on our live from Barrister and Man, a giant frag guy, right? I think I've identified that these shaving soaps are a little bit different. It's not the same slant. It's not the same thrust as what you're trying to accomplish in the frag perfume world. Because when I take this in, it is for me more beautiful of an adventure, more real of an adventure than if I were to smell like a Creed cologne. Because this has a different formulation of the notes. There's a different way that they lock together to create more of a vibe, more of a place than an identity that's trying to get noticed. This is more of like a slightly mysterious cave that you're going to go into during a Dungeons and Dragons game, and they have made it real for you. So we need to come up with some vocabulary for this because we do cologne homages. They're absolutely beautiful. We did Jacquard Noir from Peter Chikalis not long ago. But this is an entirely different way and an entirely different reason for building scents.
Okay.
So the farthest thing from a Tom Ford or a Creed that you could possibly imagine. And yet, I'm going to say it, even more deserving of its own lane because of what it does. It like helps you bring your vibe with you. It's like bringing your own theme music with you. You've seen I'm going to Get You, Sucker. You got to bring your own theme music with you. And that's what this does. I'm excited that I know something you don't about how great this is. And then y'all, somewhere in that beautiful mix of herbs and spices is this subtly clean sense that you've been on a grand adventure and somehow haven't even broken a sweat. That is all in this. And it's even like a Halloween sense to me. Just something dark and purpley and mysterious. And you know, there is just something masterful masquerading as the sweet in this and doing exactly the same job, but without needing to be sweet. And this might be the first time I have experienced that. So what he notes in here as mysterious resins, boy, you got that right. Mystery and wonders for sure. Okay. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I in my mind, I just said, okay, we're doing this show for another year. Because of this.
That just happened.
All right, take this in. Take this in. Go find this dragon.
It's fun, too, after doing our live with both Peter and Talia, like, kind of knowing more behind them and, like, the scent itself, and, like, clearly it's left a mark that, and they're world traveled, so I feel like their noses are really much more broad sense-wise than we are, you know?
They know how to bring those complexities back
right?
home.
Just by looking at the label and the, you know, like, how it's all tying together. I'm curious.
I'm excited for you to
Am I going to want to chase a dragon after this?
You might. You might.
And there is room in these tubs. I don't know if we showed, but if you're someone that's a bowl latherer, there's room to have your brush on in there.
There's anything wrong with that, Foxy.
Yes, but we will be scooping. Thank
Looking
you.
at you.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a very different scent. We do not have something like this in our den.
Y'all,
at all.
This is outstanding. No wonder it's one of Peter's favorites.
Okay, so
Okay.
I need a moment.
I know.
But so my grandma was from Spain, but raised in the Philippines. And then my grandpa was a pilot. So she traveled all over the world, like, and their house was very, like, multicultural.
Mine was a stripper. We'll get back to that later. It's true.
Mine was very multicultural in, like, even just the decor she'd have around the house, like the rugs she had would be from a different country, and then the pretty armoires that they would have, and like all the little bar setup, like everything was had this fun, like different. Nothing everything matched, but they all fit. Like they were all in different places. And I just remember there's certain things, like the cabinets had been closed forever, and like little kids would be like, we'd want to go digging, and you'd open the cabinet and it would just smell like it had been to cool places. Does that make sense? Yes. Like my little kid nose would have never smelt any of these things. Right. But like the worldwide vibe of like the different woods and even like the little velvety pieces, like there's something in here that I feel like I was transported into somewhere cool. Like you said, a mysterious cave. Like I am literally in like some big royal class castle with a dungeon and a dragon in there. Like I am transported somewhere different. Like there's scents in here that we do not get on our daily lives at all. Right. So everything in here to me is like this cool time warp of being somewhere else.
I'm glad you said that, and I actually know what you're talking about, because remember when your grandma passed, I helped clean out the house.
True. Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing was, you'd open one cabinet, wow, where is this from? Malta. Oh, where is this from? Moscow. Oh, where is this from?
Here.
Munich. Where is this from? Boracay, right? It's like, whoa, and you put it all on the table, and it does. They all have their own sort of essence.
I don't know if it was just her eye, but they all fit. They was just different.
You put that all together, and it is the scent of a lifelong seasoned traveler. Could that be what this is? Like literally the scent of experience and wisdom?
Like from what you were saying earlier, I was really thought this was going to be hit me hard with the masculine
punch
side.
To the face, right? In its finger, but it's not.
I thought it was going to be way more masculine. But to me, this is much more a vibe. Right. Like it's much more like a new place. You are definitely going on an adventure, wherever that is.
Yes.
You will come back knowing some stuff you learned.
Not a punch to the face at all. Puts its arm around you and just brings you close, and there might be a hand on your butt. That's all. That's all this is.
Well, sometimes we talk about scents that are bossy.
Right.
I don't get that type of punch from here.
No,
this is just I'm a scent you need to know.
Because
smell.
Wisdom is never bossy, right? Think of like the wisest person you know. Mm-hmm. They're pretty quiet. Yeah. It's the know-it-alls that are loud. This is the opposite of a know-it-all scent.
Yeah.
There you go.
There is something in like if people really like the darker scents, that is definitely this. It's mysterious. It's creative. It is not something that you can just smell and be like, oh, I know what's in here. Right. No, that is not going to happen. Right. But there is, there is a whole lane like where we do gourmandies and different colognes, different things. This has more that darker tier that if people like, not dirty, but dark. Does that make sense?
Spicy, right? Yeah. Herby, resinous, but not dirty.
No, there is still a clean here. Right. And I get almost like, I know obsidian doesn't have a smell, but that's like the color I'm getting.
Right. Yes.
I don't know how, but that's also where I'm going. It's not like dirty, dusty.
Right.
It's got some age and knowledge and intriguing parts to this scent I was not expecting.
And y'all, you might want to sit back from your televisions just a bit, because we're about to build a lather with this bad boy. So let's see. Let's dive in here. Ooh, these are our waxing sticks. We get these from Amazon just so we can easily get our soap out. That is how much I'm going to use, and take my word for it, that is 10 times more than
I really do feel like my grandma Vincent would have totally enjoyed this smell.
Oh, yeah.
There's something in it that I'm like, I feel like I want to take it to my dad and be like, smell this. Where does it take you? Right. Do you smell your mom? Because I feel like she's in here somewhere.
I love that when a soap is super complex, and at the same time, a super crowd pleaser, that an amazing rare bullseye has been hit, y'all. And it's been hit here.
I can't put this in a category. I can't decide if it has boozy qualities. I can't decide if it's the more herby, woodsy side. I can't decide if it's like a vibe of a place. But it's fun because you can't put it in a category, I think.
This might be the scent of chasing a dragon. This is my retro shaving brush, y'all, from Ariana and Evans, a gift from Peter and Talia. And this is my copper aquamarine colorway shaving bowl from Captain's Choice. And let's put these two together and see what happens. So you didn't
pre-dunk your brush, right?
I did not, but I shaved with it earlier today, so it's still wet. And
because I know some of the gents ask, like, have you been pre-dunked or not? So we're just going in with bougie this time. Oh, things are happening.
Wait.
Hold on. The dragons are coming out.
Yeah, Smog is awake, y'all. Hold on a second.
Whoa. What's the dragon in Shrek? What's her name?
Oh, right. The one at the end.
There is like a gentle side to this dragon, I feel like.
Because it turns out she's a girl at the end, and she falls in love with Donkey.
Oh, watch it. He's making a mess.
Told you sit back.
Yeah, strap in. You need a face shield for this
Told you to sit back. And y'all, you just keep swirling and swirling, and when that little bit of soap that you pushed into the bottom of the bowl, when it refuses to keep moving, that means you want to give a little bit more water to that to get your yogurt fully present. So hold on a second.
I do have to say the feel of that handle is very cool. We don't have as many of those longer, thinner, like whatever that arrow was, that was the style. Yep. This is our first one to really have that, and it's actually super fun to hold.
And it is flat on the bottom.
It is, so it will
stand up in your shave locker if your brushes do that.
I'm getting whiffs from here. I don't even know what's happening.
Y'all, a trap door opened under this. You thought you could go deep off the tub? Y'all, there's a water slide that opens under this.
That's why you gotta lather. Yeah, from here, there's that. The middle part of the scent woke up for me. I don't know what that is. Is it the resins? Is it the herbs? There's something in the middle, like that's a little more boozy. I don't feel like I'm in like a speakeasy kind of vibe somewhere.
That is a good way to say that. I am somewhere that is a little bit dangerous, and I love that because it kind of brings me back to when I play my old Sierra video games on the Commodore 64 or the early days of the PC. Because there were these like little corners, little caves, little taverns, little places, little thieves guilds where you weren't really supposed to go. But this is what that smells like.
Right, it totally does. Ooh. But again, I feel like there's still that fun like international vibe. Like there's just something new. Right. It's not a normal place you could go to.
No. For me, it's like a Dickensian opium den kind of
I was getting, or like incense is kind of in here.
Wages of Sin, The Mystery of Edwin Drood.
Yeah, and it's right before it would get like too dark that the scent would disappear. There's something still alive in this place. Right. Like there is still scents moving. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like it's not like it's just like you walk in, you smell it, you got it, you're out. No, like the more you keep trying to whiff, there are layers to this that are still happening.
And I think the opium den metaphor is a little apropos because I think the word dragon is often an analogy for those kinds of things. Maybe there is. I don't even know what it would smell like, but maybe this is a little bit of like what that would
But again,
smell.
I feel like I am in a cool place. Like it's something I haven't seen or smelled or been to before. Right. But that mysterious cave vibe, like you said, there is definitely new herbs and things that we don't normally have.
100%. And Peter Charkalis will still to this day post some lathering videos. Y'all, so we realized while we don't do shaving here on the Barbershop Duet, it is of great value to see how the lather does go on the face. Would you like to do the honors?
I would love to do the Look at that brush.
Y'all, you think this brush is thirsty? Nuh-uh. It is giving up the booty. Look at that. Oh, y'all.
Oh, yeah, this brush is nice.
Look at that.
I haven't really used this one as much.
I know, because it's mine. All right, y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Bill Sykes whiff on 3, 1, 2. Y'all. Oh, quite different in their personalities. This is almost gourmandy compared to what's going on over here.
Like, my brain just got a really deep, dark purple.
Right. The center of this is, it captures the scent of something just dangerous enough.
I'm with
you. If that makes sense. And sometimes if you're having just a little bit too much of a Doris Day kind of morning and you need a little danger in your day, this is your pony. Let's look at the scent notes. So back to the sales page, our scent notes are.
So I have a feeling, before we even look at this list, if you wanted to smell for one or some or different, none of this list, you could. But now I don't think there's an order of how the potent it is. I think they're blended so well that these are just like, good luck. This is the list. See what you find.
I have pre-read all of them, and she's right. I got nothing.
Because like, even so, like, we can't pick it off. Maybe when we get to the splash later, it might be a little easier to find some things. Right. But I kind of am enjoying just how they blend together. I'm going to believe anything on this list. I gotta say.
This is the Michelin star phenomenon, y'all. This is when you taste that salad dressing. Like, my favorite salad dressing is from a Chinese food store down the street.
True.
I have no clue what's in it.
Nope.
I have no clue. I've eaten it my whole life. I have no idea what's in it. It just has its own scent.
And we can't recreate it.
I don't know. I don't know how any of these are coming together to make
I'm going to believe all of them, but here we go.
But
First one.
Here we go.
Star anise.
Yep, love it.
That kind of black licoricey vibe. Coffee, which I feel like is like just not brewed coffee, like the raw coffee.
The plants. Bit of the
something in there, or like just the real side of coffee. Like I don't smell like I'm in a coffee shop at all.
I got it on me.
And then we have pepper, which is just kind of keeping it in that mid zone somehow. Like, you know, it's not getting too dark. It's just
a little effervescence to the nose.
A little spice. And then we have jasmine. Wow. But that jumps right into this next one. Oud. And then this is where Marcus is going to freak out.
Say it.
Rose.
Y'all.
Definitely here.
That's where, for me, this tug of war starts. The oud in the middle. And then it goes jasmine oud. rose oud, jasmine oud, rose oud. And then by the time it does that, you're catching everything else that's going on in here. And look at this.
And then we have
cedar wood, sandalwood. Your woods are here, y'all.
Maybe that's why I got that furniture in mind, because it was just that little part thrown in there.
And then here's, I think, a little bit of the dangerous sense.
Yeah.
You have now, due to certain algorithmic constraints, we have to change this word a little bit. But
you can figure it out.
You'll know what we mean if we say there are cannibals in the scent notes, right? A giant, beautiful field of cannibals that are coming at you. That and then
other, in quotes, mysterious resins from Khalifa. So there's some from that scent thrown in here.
And then, just to give it a little extra wisdom and know that it has earned that wisdom and it's going to sit back for its reward, we bring you the phenomenal combination of vanilla and bourbon. Y'all, my dad was a bourbon drinker, and it gives me great comfort. Well, at the beginning.
Smelling this, though, like, again, now, after reading that list, why I couldn't decide if it was masculine or not. It still is more of a vibe to me.
Yeah, and yes.
Like, I do feel like some of the ladies could rock this.
Yep. And it's,
you know?
I generally tend to look for the things that don't seem to go together to be the movement. So I'm looking at that rose, the jasmine, and how that's balancing with the sandalwood, the mysterious resins, those rockies, those kind of beautiful swirly things you got going on in here. That's the balance of this.
Like, I just like some of those chicks that can have a cigar and drink their dry, you know, like they're totally breaking the stereotypes, and I love it. And
somehow
there's something
get
in
more
here,
feminine, right?
And there's something in here that if they were wearing this, it would fit perfectly.
And y'all, if you knock on the door to the basement, they're going to ask you for a password, but we'll take you deeper.
Let's see if Marcus can get the tape off this
time. Oh, I know, right? Have you ever read any books or anything about dragons?
You know, that's a good question. My mom really liked some of the time travel books, and those ones would have the knight in shining armor. There'd be some sort of danger aspect, but I did really like that kind of adventure vibe, where as long as I knew it was going to end well, I would read those books. But the ones where I'm like, oh no, this is getting a little intense. I don't know if I can get through this.
Right. When I was about 9, I went to the Pinole Library in Pinole, California. You can find that. Fittingly. And they had a book on tape section, which is super cool for me because I had an eye imbalance. I love to read, but it was really hard, borderline painful to focus on the words on the page because my eyes would make them move around. It made reading sheet music super fun. Thank God I could play by ear. So with that, I grabbed The Hobbit off the shelf. It came on 12 tapes because it was
cassette
tapes. Yeah, cassette tapes. You had to have a Walkman. And y'all, that book ends with a phenomenal encounter with Smaug the dragon. And this, when Bilbo sneaks into his cave and just can even sense a little bit of the smokiness coming from his nose, right? That is kind of the vibe this is giving me. And I'm loving this. So let's see if the splash does the same thing. Now, I did the soap first. Why don't you do the splash first?
Oh,
absolutely.
Man.
Ready?
How about we do it together? You do too.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to say no to that.
Let's see. I'm getting a little bourbony, boozy business. That was fast. Hold on. There's other things happening.
Y'all.
It's oddly lighter. Am I crazy?
No. This is special. There's a musk in this that's not in the soap.
And the floral oud business, that's the thing.
The oud. Y'all.
Yeah.
This is different. You know where my brain took me? I'm going to say it. Okay, when I was about 10, the only thing I knew was an Avon cologne. And I got a giant nose full of Calvin Klein's Obsession. And when I did, my brain went,
hold on.
Oh, now I understand what scent can do. And I told my mom about that experience. Right. She went out and bought Obsession for Women. She went out and bought it. So I think the bottle still exists. I think Dad kept it. So, y'all, this was that same experience for me of my nose knows this, but this is giving me this. Y'all, look at my face. 350 soaps.
It's true.
This is truly another level. This is on a beautiful, apologies, Lee. This is on a beautiful, sophisticated level of things we rarely get to experience.
And I have to say thank you to Peter and Talia, whoever snuck this in the box. But clearly we did need this in our den. It was not intentional. There's just a lot to pick from sometimes,
That's why I love it when artisans send us stuff out. Because not only is it free and it alleviates our wallet purse a little bit, but also they know.
Right.
They know
They're
if their
known
entire
for this
catalog, which one makes their skirt go, all the way up. I mean, Marilyn Monroe all the way up. And
All the way.
I get it, because then it gives us a foundation with which to view everything else that they're doing. And they know how to sort of calibrate our noses to what they're able to really do, so we can appreciate everything else. On
And
a
this
much
is why
deeper
it's
level.
so fun to get to know the artisans through their different scents that they have and their different lines that they have, because you think that you kind of haven't figured out by certain ones that you've bought.
Yeah.
And then you'll throw in a new one and you're like, whoa, that just opened a whole nother lane that they offer.
I just had a thought. We need to do a series of episodes of soaps that are the artisans' favorites.
I wonder
And if
they
we've
would
already
tell us.
covered it,
Yeah.
we'll do it again, and we'll sort of do like a conglomeration episode of like different artisans and their
Okay.
own favorite scents,
As of
right?
today's date, this is their favorite.
Right,
Yeah.
because for me, this is a fabulous landing pad with which to discover the rest of the A&E line. I kind of wish, a better way to say this, that my nose had started here, because I feel like I would have had a deeper appreciation for everything else that they're doing.
And it's funny because you do get to know the artisan by whatever the first soap is that you get from them, whether it's intentional
Right.
or not.
True.
That you automatically assume
First
that-
impressions,
right? And you automatically assume like the rest will kind of vibe off that one. And usually you are very wrong. It is not the only option or lane that they're in. You know?
I don't think ever that my favorite from an artisan has been the first, except for PAA, because that was our first episode.
Yeah, that's
but-
true. So take a whiff around here. I feel like on me that's a little different.
Whoa.
Is
Something
it,
like
is it the
fruity.
rose?
That
Right.
No, wait.
I don't know.
Y'all, it's different. If you happen to know any ladies, put your stuff on them. Put your splashes on them, because they get better.
Just something kind of like different on my skin. I don't know if it's jasmine, the oud, the anise, something happening
it just doesn't
here.
smell like the garlic and fish that I add to. And you know what's funny? My brain has started to be like, what movie would you watch while you wore this? And my other part of my brain went, would you just quit screwing around? This is not a kind of a soap to watch movies with. This is way too
I'm
important
getting
of a
like
soap.
Indiana Jones vibes. I'm getting like
Yeah!
serious adventure time.
You wear this, you're not going to watch Summer Rental. You're going to go find the Ark of the Covenant. So it's pretty simple, y'all, because Jackie Paper made a fairly fatal mistake. He grew up, and in the world of Puff the Magic Dragon, he lost his best friend. Well, I think some of these shaving artisans have figured out a way to keep their inner child, their inner Jackie Papers alive, because it's pretty clear that Peter Chikalis and Puff the Magic Dragon are still great friends, because he got his own! So head over to aegrooming.com or shavingshopclub.com to find this and a bunch of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Chasing the Dragon. Deep, rich, mysterious. I think my analogy of the Dickensian opium den is apropos, because there is just something a little bit naughty, a little bit dark and underground about this experience. And the lather, y'all, one of the absolute best experiences in the wet shaving world. Just the way it goes on, the slickness that my razor can still sort of get under to get my smallest stubble. Whew. And the feeling afterwards, zero irritation, no little red dots, if you know what I mean. It's a safe friend to have, despite the lady on the label.
Welcome to Messages.
Hey y'all, so we have reorganized our main YouTube page. It used to have the channels that inspired our journey for the first year, but now it is the channels of the With Pack members. So if you happen to be watching during the live premiere, you're surrounded by all of these other content creators, and you can find their sites and their videos on our homepage, like the Shave Arcade and Shave and Tell. Go check them out. Glass jars.
Yep.
Extra towel. It's just all on a whole nother level.
Yep.
Y'all. Wow.
And I do have to say, like, the whiffs that I get from this keep changing.
Right.
It's super fun. I feel like the more you wear it, or even just get used to taking whiffs of it, you're going to find different avenues through this scent. It's going to take you to new fun adventures somewhere.
100%. And what I love about A&E is that Peter started as a hobbyist. So he is going to have a budget-minded line of creams for you. If that's where the fun part of the hobby takes you, he's going to have his standard line of amazing soaps and splashes. And then the luxury lines for those that want the fast cars and the Rolex watches. Y'all, it is all there for you. And it's all fabulous stuff, no matter which lane you're choosing.
And I'm so curious now to see what's next, because we have that other new lane, the Legacy soap that just came out. And we have some other fun stuff for Labor Day coming
Going
up.
by our tracking number, the Malou soap gets here tomorrow. So stay tuned, because we can't wait to crack open that new luxury line.
Yeah, don't forget, you're next to fun with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.